Okay, another example of how your tax dollars at work bailing people out. President Obama expanding his housing rescue program to allow more underwater borrowers to refinance their loans. So what about homeowners who are struggling every day but have to watch their tax dollars go to other, less responsible borrowers? Well, Tom Gaitens is one such homeowner who's peeved at the president's plan. Tom, why are you so upset?
Well, simply put, it's the same stuff over and over and over again. We're experiencing a situation where we need to find an equilibrium in the market. And I can't find a just value of my home until the market finds that equilibrium.
Okay, so now you're saying, though, if we refinance someone's mortgage who's at least 25% below the value of the home, that's detrimental to all the homes in that particular area?
Well, no question, because number one, it enslaves them in their home. Because this housing market is not coming back quickly. It's not going to progress at the 6%, 7% rates that we had in the past. So if you add to someone that they've got to get to a threshold of 25% over what they have right now, how long are they going to be slaves to their homes? And people like myself who might want to move are subject to a market that's artificial. We're kind of refilling that bubble with new air.
You know, it's interesting. I'm glad you brought up that word because, you talk about these homeowners being slaves, and at the same token, obviously, taxpayers are footing the bill. So there seems to be no winners here. What do you think is motivating the president here?
It's very simple. It's called votes. And the reality is he sees his popularity sliding recently on the government takeover of healthcare, the government takeover of additional taxes on cap and trade, the government motors, the whole 9 yards. The president's seeing a problem, and he wants to try to mitigate some of these concerns with the homeowners, people who are struggling, trying to make ends meet, but they can't make this mortgage in the long term. The reality is, it's this economy. He said it the other day, that the housing or the unemployment rate is going to get even higher. That is the leading proponent or leading cause of foreclosures, people losing their jobs.
Also, Tom, what do you think about this notion now in this country that there's no room for failure, no room for people to lose their homes, no room for failed businesses to go out of business? How long do you think we can sustain something like this?
Well, we can't sustain it now, and we're playing with the house's money, and the house is ours, and this is the frightening concept. I've got 3 kids, and this is why I'm angry. The reality is we're heaping all this debt, trillions and trillions of dollars of debt on people's grandchildren and their children. It's not sustainable. We're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and the frightening concept is the people who are choosing to do this are the ones who cause these problems in the first place. Does it make any sense? I'm sorry, wait. I've got an idea. Why don't we bundle these new loans, these new mortgages we're putting together, and sell them out in the marketplace and get a buck to mitigate risk? Oh, wait. No, I think we've done that already, too.
Let me ask you, Tom, 25% underwater is a lot. You personally, is there a point where you'd walk away from your home?
That's a decision I'd have to make at some point. I don't know. I know I work hard. Sometimes I work a second job. For many years, I worked a second job. I come from a background, my parents said, you better do what you can do and make sure you can live up to your commitments. Now, the reality of times are today. If I lost my job, I'd be in the same situation as most other folks who are having a difficult time with foreclosure. But it's not the role of government to pick the winners and losers of life's lottery. We have to persevere. We've got to find a market that's sustainable for the housing market. We have to find a market that is an equilibrium that makes sense.
So quickly, Tom, would you, if you were in a more desperate situation, would you walk away or would you take the government money?
Well, personally, I would walk away. And the reality is, I don't want to be beholden. I kind of think of Hillsdale College in this situation. I don't want to be beholden to government. I don't want them to choose my doctor, and I don't want them to choose my mortgage lender.
All right, thank you.
Fannie and Freddie caused this.
There's a lot of causes, but they definitely played a part.
You're right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Well, despite the Obama administration's best efforts to revive the housing market and incredible incentives by sellers and home builders, today's news, listen to this. The number of total mortgage applications dropping 19% last week. The number of refinancing of applications plunged by 30% to their lowest level in 7 months.